Long ago, when a different fifth grader channel named One Guide to Plumbers came to this website we call YouTube, he made a video. A video that was his second video. It made him almost 150 views before his channel was terminated and eventually rebooted into the new One Guide to Plumbers, who takes a month to make each of his so far 3 videos. Not counting those pieces of crap that are now privated and will most likely never resurface. But anyway, the old One Guide to Plumbers wanted to capitalize on that second video success. So he made another video on it, and another, and another, and another, and another, and another, until he made one that he actually put effort into, his 1-year anniversary video. Too bad he better upload it after that. But now it's time for something special. Something spooky. Something so vague by this video's beginning, it has a chance of killing all your brain cells! It is... okay, screw this, you already saw the title. Alright, Mario Kart Double Dash. I hinted at a video like this in part 2 of the Smash Ultimate review, but at the time, I was planning a video on Super Circuit. Until I realized I had no way of recording footage of it without a Game Boy player, which are expensive. So I saved up some money, bought an AV to HDMI converter, and forced myself to cook spaghetti. Oh, and did I mention the converter might have been $7? But I'm rambling. I gotta start this review. 75% of the script has to be done, along with audio and editing, in hopefully, maybe, probably not 3 days. So, long story short, my anniversary came, I lied on Twitter, and here we are. Let's review Double Dash. So, booting up the game, we get a title screen. How shocking. So let's just marathon the tracks and review them. Except all Cup Tour, because I'm not living through that again. Mushroom Cup. First we got Luigi's Circuit. Wait! I'm not forgetting the presentation this time. Anyway, I think Double Dash looks great. The character models actually look like the characters they're supposed to represent. The models aren't too blocky like DS or Wii. They're not too awkward and fake like 64. They're just right. There's also lots of bright colors, like markers were splattered all over my screen. The only things that are a little odd looking and dated are some of the items, like the star, but that's just a minor nitpick. The menus are nice, quick, and snappy too. You pick what you want to do, don't go as Daisy, and pick a cup. Boom. Although it is a little weird that battle mode's in the multiplayer section only. Speaking of modes, let's get them out of the way. Then items, characters, and tracks. There's a schedule for you. I never cared about time trials, they're just kind of okay. I am thankful though that you don't have to play them in this game to unlock characters, unlike Wii, which is annoying and had ridiculously strict time limits against ghosts. Battle mode time, and that's why it's only in the 2 to 4 player modes. It's 2 to 4 players only. This is a really pointless design choice in my opinion because, come on, why can't friendless losers play Balloon Battle if this is their only version of Mario Kart? Well, all of these are in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so I'll go based off of those versions while keeping Double Dash footage in the background. Have fun with this. I was never a fan of Balloon Battle. I don't know, I always felt like it was a bit too random for my tastes. But I could still get plenty of fun out of it. It can be pretty chaotic and fun, don't get me wrong. I just feel that it's a bit too much in some cases. It's just a personal thing. Shine Thief, this is a fun one. It reminds me of Tag, but indoors and with more turtles. The pressure you get with everyone trying to hit you with items is absolutely phenomenal. I love this mode, definitely my favorite of the bunch, and yes, Mario Sunshine is one of the 3 GameCube games I own. Thanks for asking. And finally, Bob-omb Blast. This is another really fun one. It's basically Balloon Battle, but you have nothing to guard, and so you have no fears when driving into war. When I play Balloon Battle, I'm always much more cautious so as to not get my balloon popped. But now the only thing to worry about is my score, and that is so much fun, shooting bombs all over the place with no fears at all. But still, the edge goes to Shine Thief for that amazingly fun pressure. Never thought I'd say that. So for items, there's 2 types of item boxes, normal and double. I always just go for double since they're pretty easy to get, and who wouldn't want 2 bananas? How'd you know, Santa? Speaking of which, this is the control section of the video. Whoever said anything about items in this section, they must be a forking idiot. And, I don't really like the way Double Dash feels, to be honest. Starting up races is hard and annoying is what I hear from most people, but I personally never had much of an issue with it. Moving, items, brakes, switching, all that is fine. My main problem, and this is the same problem I had with all Mario Karts before DS, is that the drifting is just so weird. For some reason when you go to drift, it sends you in the other direction first, which can lead to you hitting obstacles you were trying to avoid. I got used to it after a while, but sometimes I still have problems with it, whereas I have no problems with the newer games at all. This form of drifting was kind of brought back from Mario Kart Tour, and guess who's pouty? Anyway, that's all I got for you. Now it's time for items. Bananas! We all know about them. They're fine, I guess. I don't care. Green shells are weird because when you first throw them, they're upside down and take a second to flip over, leading to some delays and missed shots, which can be pretty annoying. I think green shells are having a problem with the drifting controls too. And again, this is something that was fixed in later games. Hell, actually, this is the only time this problem has existed. Pretty weird. Red shells are the same with that weird startup, but they're still better with the lock-on mechanic. The only odd thing is that in earlier Mario Karts, red shells just go into a wall when you're in first, but in later games they go for whoever's in last. It doesn't matter, it's probably something that was made because the developers had too much spare time on their hands while making one of the newer games, but I just wanted to mention it. The blue shell is fine here, it's pretty uncommon, so I don't always get anxiety when I reach first place and the finish line is near, looking at you, Mario Kart Wii, again. Fake item boxes are pretty dumb. They're pretty easily distinguishable from the normal ones, making them as pointless as bananas for me personally. The only thing that makes them better is their size. Mushroom and triple mushroom. Neat. The Starman is the same as always, really satisfying and fun, but I'd love to know, who the hell ever calls it the Starman? It's like calling a sea creature a starfish because it's star-shaped and lives among fish. Even though it's not a fish, get your facts straight, scientists. The Thunderbolt shrinks everyone as well as the other games. Just keep up the good work, man. Keep it up. Doing a good job. And finally, it's time for the special items. Mario and Luigi's fireballs are alright. They're pretty good at hitting, but the fact that they split up often makes them miss faraway targets or ricochet off walls and come back at you. Peach and Daisy's heart ability is unique and useful. Enough said. Yoshi and Birdo's eggs are bad though. They're red shells that release items, but they have some issues. A lot of times with my bad luck personally, the mushroom goes right in front of who I hit, or a banana goes right in my way, allowing them to speed ahead and causing me to fall further behind. This isn't too common, but I still feel that it would have been better to have one item explode out of the shell and come directly into your item slot. The babies have a bullet bill gone mad. Sure. Toad, Toadette, Koopa, Paratroopa, Wario, and Waluigi have golden drugs, triple shells, and bombs that were all once available to everyone, but now are character exclusive. They could have done better than that. Like, for example, why can't Wario and Waluigi have a giant bomb or something? It's uncreative, but who cares? It's more original and fun than this. This is just kind of lazy to me personally. Plus, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Bowser, and Bowser Jr. have giant versions of the banana and green shell respectively, making a giant bomb would not be too out of the ordinary. And finally, King Boo and Petey Piranha can get any special item. It makes sense considering that these characters are so obscure and hard to get, so while I would normally be unhappy with something like this, it's worth it after all the hard work of getting these characters in the first place. Oh, and by the way, kudos to the developers for thinking ahead with getting hit. Toppling over is quick and not too time-consuming. I guess they knew with 2 people per cart that there would be lots of chaos. I'm stupid for thinking that any section of this video would be quick and easy to make. But anyway, characters. I know everyone has said this before, but I love how you actually have reasons to pick some characters over others. Personally, I like going with Bowser and Baby Luigi. Comment down below or tweet at me who you use if you care enough to. But anyway, let's go over the roster and decide how normal/good it is. Mario and Luigi. Makes sense. Peach and Daisy. Makes sense. Yoshi and Birdo. Birdo's a little obscure, but I can excuse it. And Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. I'm starting to feel like parts of this game are rushed or just not thought out much. Who cares about the babies? Why do they need to be in Mario Kart? Why do they have to start a trend of baby versions of characters in Mario Kart? Even though I'd be lying if I said that they weren't cute. Toad and Toadette continuing with the other trend of making new Mario characters specifically for spin-offs that Waluigi started. Now we have Pink Gold Peach and Baby Rosalina. What the hell? Also, they could have just used Toadsworth from Sunshine. What a waste of time. Koopa and Paratroopa. I guess that makes sense, although a Goomba probably would have made slightly more sense. I definitely would have liked to see a Goomba holding a shell with telekinesis. Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong makes sense. Bowser and Bowser Jr. makes perfect sense. Waluigi and Wario, by this point in time it makes sense. And King Boo and Petey Piranha. Whose idea was this? Was there some kind of poll or something on what characters from Sunshine to bring over? If so, why the hell didn't they just use Piantas and Nookies or something? Why the leader of some ghosts with their tongue sticking out and the king of clucking flowers? Flowers! Alright, that's it. I know tracks are going to be super duper uber driver long, so let's just run through them. just like everything else in this video, and call it quits. Very marathon-y video today, especially for an anniversary, but I got 3 days to make this one video. Cut me some slack here. Starting with the Mushroom Cup, Luigi's Circuit is fine, but nothing too special. I honestly have nothing to say about it, except for that. Just nothing too special. Peach Beach is also a bit generic, but overall, it's a pretty fun one, except for these bird things. I don't know what they're supposed to be, but I know I don't like them. Baby Park is my all-time favorite Mario Kart track. It's so crazy and fun that it feels like a form of battle mode as a track. In fact, it probably should have been a battle mode so I can keep driving in circles and shooting green shells and at the people in last place over and over and over and over forever! Dry Desert is okay, just too dull. I mix desert tracks up all the time because I feel like their lack of color or interesting geometry just makes them predictable and boring. The only thing I remember from this track is the giant hole near the end of the track. That's it. Some of them can be fun, like that one from Mario Kart Wii. Again, I mix up all desert tracks, so don't judge me for not remembering the name of this one and not bothering to look it up. And on to the Flower Cup. Mushroom Bridge is interesting, but I felt it was a bit too short, and the more interesting parts were a bit too similar to Toad's Turnpike in Mario Kart 64, so it's okay. Mario Circuit is the epitome of what the hell do we do? This track is so full of things coming at you left and right that it's a bit overwhelming. There's a chain chomp, and then a tunnel, and then some piranha plants, and some Goombas, and a hill with more piranha plants, and you're telling me I gotta do that 2 more times? This track is trying too hard to be interesting to the point where it just doesn't. It's at least memorable, but that's more so because of the quantity of things here, not the quality. Yes, Mario Kart tracks need lots of things to be interesting, but nothing really fits here. It just feels like a bunch of different ideas all thrown at you at once and them saying, alright, play this. Daisy Cruiser, however, is a really fun one. A cruise ship is an odd but interesting idea that works for Mario Kart, with a pool, stairs everywhere, a hole that I assume leads to the charcoal area or something, I don't know, a haunted diner. It all somewhat makes sense and really feels like driving on a cruise ship, like a Psycho. Finally, Waluigi Stadium. Graphically, it could use some work. I'm not a fan of the overuse of brown, and these N64-like piranha plants just... no. But in terms of track design, it's another really fun one, honestly. You can get launched up in the air constantly. There's loads of areas to gain speed. You can knock each other in the mud. It's a great track. On to the Star Cup with one of the worst tracks in the game. Sugarland is too slippery and icy. The Shy Guys are huge for no reason too, and the blue color of the ice makes items and hazards just blend right into the background, making it a pretty frustrating track even in multiplayer. Mushroom City is even more similar to Toad's Turnpike than Mushroom Bridge, but this one's actually decently fun. I like how there's so many routes to take, and if you want to try getting the fastest time possible without looking it up online, you gotta keep playing it to try and find the fastest way to finish, which is honestly really clever. Yoshi's Circuit is a track I love in any game but Double Dash. It's a fun and well-designed track in later games, but the problem here is that a track like this does not work well with these controls. Like, near the end, I try to get down the slope, and half the time, I slip over to the side too much while drifting because of the delay and get chomped. It's similar to Luigi's Mansion track in Mario Kart Tour. I know I'm mentioning Tour a lot in this video, but just hear me out. You can tell Luigi's Mansion is not a well-suited track for the touch control scheme, with all the mini turns and then extra sharp turns in the mansion that were not in mind while designing the controls. Finally, we have DK Mountain, a strong ender. I love this track. I really do. You go up a hill and get shot out of a canyon onto a mountain, and you gotta get down as fast as possible. It's really... I can't even speak. It's so good. While the controls going down the mountain are a bit finicky, this is still a really fun and memorable track. I gotta learn to say words right. I gotta go back to school. Although I'm struggling to determine what all this has to do with Donkey Kong besides the barrels, considering that it doesn't really look like a jungle. And last but not least, we have the Special Cup. I wrote the Star Cup again in the script. I'm an idiot. Wario Coliseum is only 2 left because of how long it is, but it would be fine if this was 3, just considering how fun this one is. It's full of twists and turns, big leaps of faith, items going crazy, etc. I really like this one, and I'd like to see it re-released more often. Dino Jungle is just kind of boring, but it has some interesting parts like the cave and the bridge. I could do without the dinosaur near the end, though. I think it would have been better if they just put more dino feet at the end. Hitting his head and falling off is really annoying, and it's hard to get around it sometimes, considering the fact that a lot of times getting around it with these awkward controls that were clearly made for much bigger turns is really annoying. It feels like I'm trying to putt with a driver for the golf fans out there. Bowser's Castle is chaotic for sure, but decently fun. They went a bit crazy with the fire on this version of Bowser's Castle, but other than that, it's okay. Nothing too interesting, but it's a decently well-designed track. Has some fun moments. And Rainbow Road. It's pretty good, honestly. I hear a lot of people say that it's hard and annoying and badly designed, but all I do is not drift the whole time. The only times I drift are at the very beginning and the end of the track. That's it. Drift any other time, especially on that sideways slope, and you're most likely donezo. The track overall is designed pretty well, and it honestly just feels good for me to finally be good at a version of Rainbow Road besides Mario Kart 64 and Mario Kart 7. There's also Uncut Tour, which is awful if you aren't very good at the game, but is overall decently manageable in my opinion. There's plenty of wiggle room to screw up considering its crazy length, and it's only about 30 minutes. You'll unlock Mirror Mode after that, but I honestly only played Mirror Mode once on the Star Cup just to get King Boo and Petey Piranha. And there you have it, folks, Mario Kart Double Dash. My final thoughts are that the game isn't the best for single player. Battle Mode is exclusive to multiplayer for no good reason. A lot of the track design is too quirky or not suited for the controls. Some character-specific items and characters themselves are kind of lazy. The controls are mediocre, and it's not very easy to pick up for a first-time player, especially one without prior Mario Kart experience. Very different from most other games in the series. But at the end of the day, it's still pretty fun, especially with friends. Some tracks are still pretty fun, the items are wacky, characters have reasons to be chosen over others, double items add more strategy, the graphics are top-notch for the GameCube and are much better than DS and Wii, the music is catchy, and even some of the bad design is made better in multiplayer. However, even though people say that you can go back to this one anytime, I don't personally agree. I'm sorry, I really don't. I feel that the controls, difficulty balancing, track design, and some other minor questionable decisions are a bit too dated for me to want to go back to this game. Plus, most of the better tracks in this game are in other Mario Karts as well, and the special items from this game live on in Mario Kart Tour. I think a new Double Dash mode in Mario Kart 9, or technically 10 now, would be better than a sequel or remake. I'd recommend this game to anyone with a good amount of Mario Kart experience and who is willing to excuse some dated aspects of the game. You can also still have a great time with this game. It certainly isn't perfect, but it's worth a shot. And that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Happy 2-year anniversary, and here's to another year of fun and actually quality content over quantity.